Is Delhi prepared if an earthquake strikes? How did Quake strike heart of Delhi? Should Delhi brace for more quakes? Delhi quake scare. That is our top focus on 6 p.m. Prime.
Hello and welcome. Good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal, and this evening we're talking about how the people of Delhi were literally jolted out of their sleep courtesy of 4.0 magnitude earthquake that hit the national capital. Not new to have tremors in Delhi, but the fact that the epicenter was right in the heart of the national capital in Dholakwan, very close to the airport, that's what's triggered a lot of worry, and also the impact of the quake felt in parts of the national capital region, not just Delhi, but also parts of Noida, Greater Noida, Ghaziabad. All of them felt the impact of this quake. There are some worrying questions now that are coming up repeatedly. Is this a worrying sign of things that are to come in the national capital? Delhi falls in a seismic activity zone. So are we going to be seeing more earthquakes? Is there any way we can predict it? How do we safeguard ourselves? I'm going to be talking about that. We're getting experts on our show to break those details down for you. First, as always, let's begin with the headlines. Rahul Gandhi faces flack for flaunting a China drone. Drone industry slams Rahul, asks why belittle Indian drones. Congress Overseas Chief Sam Pitroda backs China, says China threat blown out of proportion. Congress distances from remark, says China remains India's foremost security challenge. Elon Musk's Doge reveals 182 crores US aid funds used for voter turnout in India. BJP claims money used to fuel anti-government movements and influence 2024 polls. Stalin versus Central Education Minister face-off over national education policy. Stalin claims blackmail by Education Minister and that the centre is blocking funds for the state. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma announces probe into park climate expert who allegedly worked with Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi's wife Elizabeth. Himanta alleges anti-India activities. Congress calls it a pre-poll conspiracy. And more trouble for latent show host and judges. Comedian Samir Raina summoned tomorrow again by the Maharashtra Cyber Cell. Ranveer Alabadia asked to appear on February 24th. At 5:36 this morning, most of us who live in Delhi in the national capital region woke up to a 4.0 magnitude earthquake striking the heart of the national capital. Many of us who live in Delhi have felt these tremors before, but this one felt a little different from the others simply because of the intensity. The reason for that was because, of course, the epicenter was in Delhi, and second, the depth of the quake. It did lead to widespread panic among residents who are now asking what next. Does this mean that more is coming Delhi's way? Should we brace for more quakes, more tremors? We'll first tell you what happened today and then decode that with experts.
People rushing out of their homes in fear. Early morning panic in the national capital region. These were the scenes witnessed across Delhi and the NCR in the early hours of February 17. A magnitude 4 earthquake hit the NCR with its epicenter in Delhi, which is unprecedented. The epicenter was near South Delhi's Dholakwan area.
We felt the earthquake around early morning in the 5:30, and we came out of the room. And we planned to see the gateway. We came here. So we may feel another earthquake or something like that, so we came here.
The tremors were felt not just in the capital, but also in adjoining areas like Noida, Greater Noida and Ghaziabad. Fortunately, no damage or injuries were reported despite strong tremors that shook the NCR this morning.
This is the epicenter in Dhaula Kuan area. At the epicenter, when the measurement was taken by the seismology department, that says that 5 kilometers below the Earth's surface, this was the epicenter. And this is area, the radiusly, this is the area which was the epicenter of this tremor. First time, perhaps, that anyone could recall that Delhi, the national capital, was being epicenter of such a strong tremor.
जो अर्थक्वेक हुआ है वो धौला कुआं में हुआ है, जो आपका जो झील पार्क है, और 2007 में 4.6 मैग्नीट्यूड का अर्थक्वेक वहां पर हुआ था. तो इसलिए ये बहुत से अर्थक्वेक 420 अर्थक्वेक 1990 से उस जोन में हो रहा है, और इसलिए इसे कोई नई, इसमें कोई घबराने का नहीं है. ये सेस्मोजेनिक जोन है.
Seismologists say there are multiple reasons for the strong tremors in Delhi and the NCR. Firstly, the epicenter was in South Delhi, and that too at a depth of 5 kilometers. Delhi is prone to earthquakes, and the urban structure is an added factor. Another reason, according to experts, is the soft alluvial soil in the region. Prime Minister Narendra Modi urged people to remain calm and stay alert for possible aftershocks. Delhi and other parts of northern India often experience tremors due to earthquakes in the Himalayan region, but the epicenter being Delhi this time triggered an alarm. With Ashutosh Mishra in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
So many questions right now loom over this one incident that's been reported in Delhi, and we're going to address some of your questions, queries about the earthquake that struck the national capital region. Joining us here on this broadcast is Mr. A.K. Shukla, former head of the National Center for Seismology. So there's no better name to really answer all of your queries. Thank you, Mr. Shukla, for your time. A couple of questions really that have been asked, particularly about the incident that happened this morning. First is, how was the epicenter actually in Delhi? Is that unprecedented? Has that happened before, sir?
Yeah, Delhi, because as you know, Delhi is in seismic zone 4. We have divided the country in 4 zones, zone 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 is the highest zone, high intensity zone, and then the 4. So the geological structure of Delhi is such that such type of earthquake, even up to magnitude, you can say up to 6 magnitude, can produce these fault systems. These are the fault systems, and these are created because of the movement of our Indian plate to the colliding with the Eurasian plate. So this is the basic reason. So we cannot say that it is a unusual phenomena has happened in this Delhi. Okay. There were centers in this area earlier also, and about, as Dr. Mishra has told, it was recorded at more than 4.5 magnitude earthquake in this area. So it's not too very.
Okay, Mr. Shukla, you know, one of the questions that everyone's talking about who lives in Delhi and in the national capital region is that this quake felt more powerful than usual. Is that really the case? Why so, if yes? Why did this feel more powerful?
Yeah. It's looked like powerful because as the energy when generated on the basis of earthquake, the energy generated travel in the form of waves. So these are the 2 types of wave. One is the primary wave, where the earthquake travel just giving the jerk, and the second wave, this is not very dangerous. This type of wave is not dangerous, and then comes the secondary wave. This is sinusoidal wave. So the earth so in this wave, so this wave is analogous to the sound wave. So when this first primary wave has come, so this create the sound. And of course, because the depth is very shallow, about 5 kilometers, so a lot of noise has taken place. And really, it was a little surprising. Not surprising, but yes, it was felt by the people, heard by the people, and it's created panic. But that need not to, this is not a matter of panic. We should not worried about this.
Okay,
This
so
is the
nothing unusual, but understandable, of course, that there was a certain sense of fear with the sound that came along with these tremors. The other question that constantly comes up, Mr. Shukla, about this incident and overall, really, the fact that Delhi is in Zone 4, which means that there is a possibility and a risk of quakes, as you told us, is whether Delhi is actually prepared if an earthquake strikes. How prepared are we, urban infrastructure-wise? Do you think that every step of planning has been done, keeping in mind that Delhi, the national capital, is in fact in risk of a quake?
Yeah, it's $1 million question. To prepare, when we are asking, we are saying that it's whether we are prepared, means there are two ways: post earthquake and after the earthquake. After earthquake, yes, we are fully prepared. We have NDMRS, SDMRF. Means this two types of these force are there, and really they are very much equipped and they are reaching in a very time. We have seen in Sikkim earthquake within 1.5 days they have reached. So this is the post earthquake scenario. We are very well able to manage, but the pre-earthquake. The pre-earthquake means we have to create our houses, we have to construct our houses as per the building code. Building code, when we are saying, means whether these buildings will be able to tolerate the force generated by the earthquake. So it is for this we have the code. We have BIS has prepared the code for different zone, different type of buildings are to be constructed depending upon the force of the seismicity experience, force of the earthquake experience in this zone. So if you talk about Delhi, we always listen that most of the buildings are not as per this one, even not as per the building code. Even in the code, the matter went to the court, in Supreme Court, and official statement that 90% buildings are not sure that they are the earthquake resistant. So it's very difficult to say. Yes, the new construction we should assume, because 10, 15 years from 10, 15 years we are really able to understand the earthquake. People has
I
also
think what that essentially means, Mr. Shukla, from what you're telling us, I could be wrong, which is that actually the high-rises seem to be complying more because they've come up of late, which means that they've also kept it in mind and ensured that certain precautions are taken. It's the older buildings that are very concerning, because not just are they old infrastructure, but also not updated with the latest codes and perhaps not really safe in case an earthquake strikes. But Mr. Shukla, with this one incident that's been reported today with the epicenter in Delhi, do we anticipate more earthquakes in the capital?
Not because of this particular earthquake. We cannot say that earthquake will not come in future, but because of generally what happens when large earthquake occurs, so aftershock follows. So for this earthquake, we can say that there will not be any earthquake because of this earthquake. Separate earthquake at separate place, at separate epicenter may be happen, but this earthquake is not probably not able to generate the aftershock. So we should not worry about this incident. But yes, it can come at any time, and we should be careful. We should take precaution. We should be ready for this one. As you have told about the building, we should be ready for this one. And other things which are required for this earthquake disaster
My
management.
final question to you, Mr. Shukla, is, you've been speaking about ensuring that we take preventive, precautionary steps, rather. Is there any way we can actually predict if an earthquake is about to strike? Are there any telltale signs?
No, we cannot predict. Not anywhere in world. No country can predict the earthquake in a very advanced. Yes, China has tried, and they predict the one earthquake, but fail to the other earthquake. Means every earthquake has their own structure, the way of formation of the energy, etc. But yes, there is alert system. Our Honorable Prime Minister has in some function told that we should do something about the early warning system. So in case of earthquake, early warning, when we are saying, so it's a very, as I have told, that these are the primary wave and secondary wave. So the nature is different, speed is different. So taking care of these speed, we can give a warning of a few seconds. Suppose some earthquake has occurred in the Himalaya, and so the energy which is destructive energy may take few seconds or 40, 50 seconds to Delhi. So this 50 seconds and the first wave, P wave, as I have sent, we have discussed already. So that P wave, if you can send through the V set immediately, so it will take about 40 seconds to the other wave which can distract the house. So we can get the warning of 40 seconds. So this is
That's hardly any time.
That's
That's hardly any time to actually do anything or even react for that matter.
No. 40 seconds is quite enough. If you can get the warning of 40 seconds, you can come out from the from your house. Because only thing is that you come out from your structure if it is not safe. You come out from the structure. So 40 seconds at least in first or second, third floor, you can come out from.
No, but how will you spread the word so fast, Mr. Shukla? How will everyone know that, this is coming in a matter of 40 seconds?
Yeah.
How do you ensure that people know?
Yeah. That is the thing. That is early warning system. We have to generate the system. We have to communicate properly. Communication system has to develop. And probably because of this Prime Minister's instruction, and in a few years, in a few months or years, we will be able to get such type of instruction.
We certainly hope so, We certainly hope so. Mr. Shukla, thank you very much for joining us, answering all of our queries. I'm sure you've put a lot of minds at ease right now with the details and expert opinion that you have given us on this broadcast about what to expect in the days, weeks and months to come in Delhi. Thank you very much. Now, one point that constantly comes up about Delhi is that it's simply not prepared for earthquakes, despite falling in zone 4, which means that there is a high risk of quakes. There's very little as far as urban infrastructure goes to ensure that buildings don't come crashing down, which is the most basic step you can do to ensure that lives are not at stake, that you don't see maximum casualties if there is a quake. And let me just take you through some of the data. Surveys conducted have shown that in Delhi, 6.5% of buildings are at high damage risk. That may seem like a small number. Let me show you the next page because that is extremely worrying. 85.5% buildings in Delhi, in the national capital, are at moderate damage risk. Moderate at, let's say, an earthquake that hits above 5 on the Richter scale could cause sizable damage, especially for those who are living inside that particular building. Now, new construction buildings that have come up in Delhi or even in the national capital region like Noida, Ghaziabad are built to withstand a 7.5 strong earthquake. So if you live in a high-rise and you're thinking that, look, because I'm in a high-rise, I'm at greater risk, look at really the building code. Speak to the builder, find out from them whether your building is quake resistant. Chances are that if it was built in the last 10 to 15 years when there was more awareness and building codes came in, which were a lot more stricter, chances are that it can actually withstand an earthquake. So there's no reason to panic whatsoever, but important to check if your building is earthquake proof or not. Let's also tell you about the zones in the country that are prone to earthquakes. There are a couple of zones here. There's zone 2, zone 3, zone 4 and zone 5. Zone 2 is the low risk zone. This is where earthquakes do not exceed a magnitude of 4.9 and very rarely actually occur. Most of the south you will see that it's not really prone to earthquakes because they're far away from the Himalayas, so they're not really part of those tectonic plates. Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh fall in this particular category of zone 2, which means there's very, very small chance really of an earthquake happening here. Zone 3, moderate risk. Now here, if an earthquake strikes, the magnitude could be between 5 and 6. Now remember that what we're talking about is extreme scenarios here. It doesn't mean that if an earthquake strikes, it will vary in this magnitude. Places like Mumbai, Pune, Andhra Pradesh and Odisha fall in this category. Again, let me highlight that there is only a moderate risk of earthquakes. You very rarely hear of quakes or tremors being felt in these parts. Zone 4. Here's where it gets risky. There is a high risk of an earthquake. Delhi falls in this particular zone. So most of the areas close to the Himalayas, we're talking about Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, they all fall in zone 4. So here the magnitude could vary between 6 to 6.9. Again, I'm reiterating that this is in extreme conditions, the worst that could hit really as far as an earthquake goes. Zone 5. Extreme, very high risk. Now, this is the most seismically active zone, and there are parts of India that actually fall in this category too. Assam, Nagaland, most of your northeastern states fall here. There's also Gujarat's run of Kutch. Remember the Bhuj earthquake that took place in 2001. These are areas where you could see a lot more heightened seismic activity. So these are the most risky areas where steps are being taken to ensure that it's also more, prepared if an earthquake strikes. Now, with those details, I'm slipping into a short break here on 6 p.m. Prime. Coming up on the other side, we'll be getting you details of the investigation into the deadly stampede that broke out at the New Delhi railway station. Today, there are changes that are brought about. But mind you, it's days after a stampede broke out. Why wasn't this done on day one? We're going to ask those questions on the other side.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
मार्केट कितना वॉलेटाइल हो रहा है पता है? मैं सोच रही हूँ अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के एसआईपीज बंद कर देती हूँ।
मार्केट के अप एंड डाउन मूवमेंट को प्रेडिक्ट करके इन्वेस्ट करना इम्पॉसिबल है। फॉलिंग मार्केट्स में सेम एसआईपी से तुम्हें ज्यादा यूनिट्स मिलेंगे और राइजिंग मार्केट्स में कम। ओवर टाइम ये वॉलेटिलिटी एवरेज आउट हो जाएगी।
इसीलिए मैं सजेस्ट करूंगी स्टिक टू योर एसआईपीज।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Hi, I am AI anchor Sana, bringing the top headlines for you, presented by Motorola. Delhi's new CM likely to take oath at Ramlila Maidan on 20th February. Maharashtra Cyber Cell orders Samay Raina to appear on Tuesday. BPSC protest continues in Patna. Aspirants demands re-examination.
Get the pulse of the nation with the biggest people's verdict after elections. Mood of the nation. Do you believe electronic voting machines can be manipulated? Do you think artificial intelligence will replace many jobs for the youth? Do you support the idea of one nation, one poll? Get the answers in India's most credible and longest running biannual survey, Mood of the Nation Opinion Poll. Subscribe to the magazine and avail special offers.
जिस प्रकार की बात सैम पित्रोदा जी ने कही है वो भारत की अस्मिता, भारत की कूटनीति और भारत की संप्रभुता पर बहुत गहरा आघात है। उन्होंने इस प्रकार की बात कही कि चीन के साथ तो किसी प्रकार का विवाद ही नहीं है, जैसे भारत ही अग्रेसर की भूमिका में, यानी आक्रामक मुद्रा लिए हुए, और ये कोई उनका अलग बयान नहीं है। ये ओवरसीज कांग्रेस के चीफ हैं, यानी समुद्र पारी कांग्रेस के प्रमुख हैं। अब समुद्र पार से तो सोरस के सुर भी कांग्रेस के साथ मिलते हुए नजर आते हैं, परंतु यहां पर एक बहुत गंभीर बात है कि जो कुछ सैम पित्रोदा ने कहा है ये कोई आइसोलेटेड इवेंट नहीं है, आइसोलेटेड स्टेटमेंट नहीं है। इसी भाव और इसी विचार के अनेक स्टेटमेंट राहुल गांधी पहले दे चुके हैं।
Let's get you details now of the meeting that's taken place to decide who the next Chief Election Commissioner will be. The meeting happened at the PMO. Leader of Opposition Rahul Gandhi was present, Prime Minister Modi was there, and Union Minister Amit Shah were present for this particular meeting. Remember, it's a three-member panel that decides who will be the next Chief Election Commissioner. The current Election Commissioner, Rajiv Kumar, retires tomorrow, so we are expecting an announcement very, very soon. Okay, at this point, we know that the meeting has come to an end. It took place at the PMO. Prime Minister Modi was there. Home Minister Amit Shah, because part of the panel is one union minister, in this case, Home Minister Amit Shah. We also had Leader of Opposition Rahul Gandhi attending the meet, as is the norm. So all of them coming together to be a part of this panel that will decide who will be the new CEC. Now, a front runner, in fact, is expected to be Gyanesh Kumar, who is the senior most official right now at the Election Commission. So he is touted to be the front runner to succeed Mr. Rajiv Kumar as the Chief Election Commissioner. Now, remember that this is a case that's been going on in the Supreme Court over who really should be deciding the CEC. And there was a panel that was set up by the Supreme Court which also had the Chief Justice of India. The government then brought in a law to replace that particular panel composition. And instead of the CGI, a union minister has been made a part of this panel. This is interestingly a case that also comes up in just 2 days from now in the Supreme Court over the composition of this panel and the centre's law that was brought in. Rahul Gautam is joining us with more details on this. Rahul, as we get those images of the leadership part of the CEC panel leaving after the meeting, any details of when we can expect an announcement? Is it going to come in today?
Well, Akshita, this meeting began around 5:30 at PMO. Lok Sabha LOP Rahul Gandhi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah, all three were present during this important meeting to decide upon who's going to be the next Chief Election Commissioner. We've been informed from our sources that in all likelihood Rahul Gandhi has given a dissent note on the selection process, saying that the process was biased and due names or those names should have been considered were not considered by the committee. In the meantime, we can expect that shortly from now a press conference will be organized by Congress Party on this issue, and you can expect that in a day or two we would all be knowing as to who is going to be the next Chief Election Commissioner. But as far as
you're telling us about the Congress objecting, Rahul Gandhi, you're telling us as the leader of opposition is going to issue a dissent note. Is he not in agreement with the panel composition?
Well, absolutely, yeah. This is what sources are indicating to us, that Rahul Gandhi has given a dissent note on the entire exercise of selecting the next Chief Election Commissioner. In fact, if you remember earlier also when the NHRC chairperson and the other members were supposed to be appointed, at that point of time also Rahul Gandhi gave a dissent note. Not just Rahul Gandhi, in fact Mallikarjun Kharge, LOP, Rajya Sabha, they both gave dissent notes. And this time around also Congress sources are indicating to us that Rahul Gandhi has objected to the entire process, saying that it was biased from the very beginning, and the name should have been considered for this topmost post were not considered by the selection committee.
Considering that the Congress and Rahul Gandhi is of course focused a lot of the attacks on the Election Commission and how they function. Thanks very much, Rahul, for those details. Let's cut across to more breaking news coming in. In 3 days from now, on February 20th, Delhi will get a new Chief Minister, and the oath-taking preparations are on in full swing. Ramlila Maidan is where, in fact, the swearing-in will happen. Now, what we're hearing about the swearing-in ceremony is that the BJP's top brass, Prime Minister Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah will be there. But not just that, you will see NDA Chief Ministers all coming together for the oath ceremony. The Chief Ministers of 20 states will be there for the swearing-in ceremony. So it's going to be a big NDA show of strength that will happen in the national capital. Now, what we're hearing, sources telling us that the Ambanis, Adanis, other industrialists have all been invited. Spiritual leaders, farmers have also been invited. So this is going to be a big bang event that takes place in the heart of the national capital at the Ramlila Maidan. Piyush Mishra is joining us with more details on this. Piyush, a grand affair being planned by the BJP along the lines, I think, of what happened also in Maharashtra, where you're going to see the biggest names of the country coming together for the swearing-in ceremony.
Well, absolutely, Akshita. What we are now hearing is that BJP is planning for a mega day mega oath-taking ceremony in which top leaders, not only from the BJP but also from NDA, will participate, which includes Chandrababu Naidu, Nitish Kumar, and other parts of NDA. They will be present in that oath-taking ceremony, which is also to take place on 20th of February at 4:30 p.m. Before that, the BJP's legislative party meet will also take place on 19th of February. For that, the preparations are underway. Let me also straight away try to show you pictures from right outside the BJP headquarters. You can also see the colorful lights right in front of this office, and we have never seen this jostling atmosphere here. The positive atmosphere here. Workers are trickling in day and night, and they are also very excited to know that yes, oath-taking ceremony is also to take place on 20th of this month, and they will have their own chief minister in the state. And for that, what we're also told is that people from business fraternity, from Bollywood and sports could also be invited. So it's going to be a mega show on 20th of February at 4:30 p.m. when BJP's chief minister will take place, because BJP has achieved a good number of seats. It's a historical
and they want to celebrate it. They want to celebrate that they're coming back to power in Delhi after 2.5 decades. So you can expect a big show of strength by not just the BJP but the NDA in Delhi. Thanks, Piyush, for joining us with those details. And sticking to news from Delhi, everyone's of course been talking about that tragic stampede that broke out at the New Delhi railway station on Saturday. 18 people died as a result of mismanagement and the sheer chaos that broke out at the railway station, again involving the crowds gathered for the Mahakumbh. Now, 2 days on, the central government has swung into action, putting forth a slew of steps to ensure that there's no repeat of the stampede. But obviously the question that will be asked is, why wasn't this done earlier, when the government knew that there were unprecedented crowds gathering at railway stations headed to the Kumbh?
The deadly New Delhi railway station tragedy jolting the government into action. Centre has introduced a new AI-managed crowd control plan, including the creation of permanent holding zones at 60 high-traffic stations. The AI-backed tech innovation will be used to monitor crowd movement, especially during train delays.
This is the 16-number platform. Most of the special trains for Kumbh are on 16 number. So there has been an access control that has been designed to manage proper entry-exit flow to avoid any kind of stampede-like situation till the 26th.
The Saturday stampede occurred when a sea of passengers was confused by two trains with similar names.
There is a man marking that's been done by the RPF, where at every entry-exit point from the footover bridge, which is the staircase to the footover bridge, there is man marking that's been done.
Sale of platform tickets from counters at New Delhi has been discontinued till 26th of February. Meanwhile, SP Chief Akhilesh Yadav mocked Modi government, saying the Vishwa Guru can't safeguard poor passengers.
जो लोग ये कहते हैं कि हम $5 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी बनाने जा रहे हैं, विकसित भारत बनाने जा रहे हैं, तीसरी अर्थव्यवस्था बन जाएंगे हम और विश्व गुरु बन जाएंगे, क्या यही परिभाषा है कि आप प्लेटफॉर्म पर हमारे जो गरीब लोग हैं उनको सुरक्षित नहीं रह सकते, उनका एक्सीडेंट हो जाए? दोनों सरकारों को मिलकर के जो मुआवजा देने की बात कही तो वो मुआवजा देना चाहिए, उनकी मदद करनी चाहिए.
The centre promised to probe if fake news and rumours sparked stampede.
देखिए, बहुत ही दुख की घटना है और हम इससे आहत है बहुत. हमारी पूरी सरकार आहत है. रेल मंत्रालय की तरफ से इसका इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रहा है और इस इन्वेस्टिगेशन के बाद पता चलेगा कि इसमें कॉन्स्पिरेसी है, क्या कोई फेक न्यूज़ प्रोपागेट किया गया जिसके कारण ऐसा कुछ हुआ. इसके बारे में पूरी जानकारी ली जाएगी और इंक्वायरी होगी.
Can railway ensure 100% passenger safety among surging crowd of Mahakumbh devotees? Vishriya Chatterjee in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
With that report, I'm slipping into a very short break. On the other side, we focus on the big controversy playing out in Tamil Nadu. Once again, a language showdown, this time over the national education policy that's got the Tamil Nadu government claiming that the centre is blackmailing them.
This is made by a Chinese factory called DJI, and this is actually a toy. And this has revolutionized how accurately you can target kinetic energy. We have to build such a system. And the sad fact is that we're nowhere here. We don't make any of the components inside this. We don't understand how it's made. We certainly don't make any of the optics. We don't understand how it's made. And that's what my speech was getting at, that this is actually where we should be playing. And the network that produces this is where the real value is. And all AI is actually going to be operating on this network.
राहुल गांधी जी ने विदेश में क्या कहा था कि चाइना ने बड़ा संघर्ष करते हुए ऊपर उठने का उदाहरण प्रस्तुत किया है उन चुनौतियों के बीच से। आपको याद हो अभी कुछ दिन पहले के अपने विदेशी दौरे में क्या कहा कि चाइना ने अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट को बहुत अच्छे तरीके से टैकल किया है, जबकि फैक्ट ऑफ द मैटर है इस समय चाइना में एम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट 24% है। 2023 में जनवरी से लेकर जुलाई के बीच में अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट वहां पर बढ़ते बढ़ते हो गई 17-18%, और उन्होंने फिर जुलाई 23 से जनवरी 24 डाटा देना बंद कर दिया, फिर डाटा का बेस चेंज किया और जनवरी से लेकर अगस्त के बीच में किया, फिर बदले बेस पर भी वो 24% हो गई। मगर राहुल गांधी जी को उसमें बहुत महान चीज नजर आती है। जिस प्रकार की बात सैम पित्रोदा जी ने कही है वो भारत की अस्मिता, भारत की कूटनीति और भारत की संप्रभुता पर बहुत गहरा आघात है। उन्होंने इस प्रकार की बात कही कि चीन के साथ तो किसी प्रकार का विवाद ही नहीं है, जैसे भारत ही अग्रेसर की भूमिका में, यानी आक्रामक मुद्रा लिए हुए, और ये कोई उनका अलग बयान नहीं है। ये ओवरसीज कांग्रेस के चीफ हैं, यानी समुद्र पारी कांग्रेस के प्रमुख हैं। अब समुद्र पार से तो सोरस के सुर भी कांग्रेस के साथ मिलते हुए नजर आते हैं, परंतु यहां पर एक बहुत गंभीर बात है कि जो कुछ सैम पित्रोदा ने कहा है यह कोई आइसोलेटेड इवेंट नहीं है, आइसोलेटेड स्टेटमेंट नहीं है। इसी भाव और इसी विचार के अनेक स्टेटमेंट राहुल गांधी पहले दे चुके हैं।
Welcome back. The India's got latent controversy refusing to die down as the Maharashtra Cyber Cell has now issued a second summon, will in fact issue a second summon to those who have skipped the first. 42 people have been summoned. 2 have recorded their statements so far. Now the Maharashtra Cyber Cell will kick off action against Ranveer Alabadia, aka Beer Bicep, Samay Raina, Apurva Mukhija, Ashish Chanchalani, Jaspreet Singh and many others. Now it's also possible, and this is the big breaking news that's coming in, the Maharashtra Cyber Cell is likely to issue an arrest warrant against the primary accused if they do not cooperate with the agencies and if they do not show up within the stipulated date. Essentially, an arrest warrant could go out against the main accused, which in this case is Ranveer Alabadia, as well as Samay Raina, the host of the show. The controversy refusing to die down and only, in fact, snowballing into more and more trouble for the accused. Divyesh Singh is joining us with more details. So on this, Divyesh, more trouble essentially for Alabadia, for Beer Biceps and Samay Raina. They could face arrest if they don't turn up before the agencies. So now what is the deadline by when they have to appear before the Maharashtra Cyber Cell?
Well, Samay Raina has been summoned on 18th February, that is tomorrow. And
connection with Divyesh, but he was telling us that Samay Raina has been summoned tomorrow. If he doesn't turn up tomorrow, he could face an arrest warrant. Remember that Samay Raina, in his statement so far, has maintained that he is abroad. He's in America. So we'll have to see if he manages to come back tomorrow to be questioned by the Maharashtra Cyber Cell, who are cracking the whip and how against all of these accused, making it very clear that this case, for some reason, is priority number one for them. Okay, let's move on and talk about what's happening in Tamil Nadu, where again you're seeing a language controversy, this time over the national education policy, which the DMK very publicly has been vehemently against. Now, what's triggered this showdown is that the central government has made it clear that you toe the line on this particular policy if you want funds to come from that particular scheme, for that particular scheme. And so Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has made it clear that this is nothing but a politically motivated move by the DMK to not implement the national education policy. The point of contention over the NEP that's happening in Tamil Nadu is over the three-language policy that's part of the NEP that speaks about the first language, which is English, second, which will be the first actually being a regional language, the second English, and the third a language of your choice, which could be Hindi as well. The DMK says we do not want a three-language policy, we want a two-language policy, and that's what's led to this showdown, as the central government has made it very clear they're not going to back down, that Tamil Nadu must implement NEP. MK Stalin, amid this, the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, has claimed that the centre is threatening to not release funds for Tamil Nadu if it does not implement the three-language policy.
NEP is the new aspirational common platform. Regarding language, I respect all the language. This NEP, envisioned by Honorable Prime Minister Modi, is giving emphasis to mother tongue. हम तो काशी तमिल, we are organizing Kashi Tamil Sangamam to encourage the Tamil civilization, Tamil culture and Tamil language. Tamil is one among the oldest language of our civilization. But what is wrong if a student in Tamil Nadu will learn multilingual, come to the multilingual aspect in his study? It can be Tamil, it can be English, it can be other Indian language. There is no imposition of any Hindi or any language on them. Some friends in Tamil Nadu are doing politics, but certainly Government of India is committed to implement NEP.
Sir, what is your reaction to Dharmendra Pradhan's statement, sir?
Strongly condemn it. We will never accept the three-language policy. We will always stick to two-language policy.
Sir, what is your reaction to Dharmendra Pradhan's statement, sir?
Strongly condemn it. We will never accept the three-language policy. We will always stick to two-language policy.
The future of 40 lakh students depends on this amount. And all of the sudden, they are framing a reason like you have to include yourself. You have to sign the MOU like you are joining the PM Street. This is the very first time in 2023 while we are in the urge of receiving the final installment. At the time they are telling better you sign this MOU for the PM Street, then only we will release. So this is kind of a blackmail.
யாரும் எந்த மொழியும் படிக்கக்கூடாதுன்னு யாரும் சொன்னதில்லை. ஒரு மொழி திணிப்பு என்று வரும்பொழுதுதான் அதை எதிர்க்கிறோம். அதை தான் அவங்க புரிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டும். மொழியை ஒரு சாய்ஸா எடுத்து படிக்கிறதுக்கும் மொழியை திணிக்கப்படும் பொழுது வேறு வழி இல்லாமல் அதை படிக்க வேண்டிய அவசியம் ஏற்படும் போதும் இருக்கக்கூடிய வித்தியாசத்தை பிஜேபியில் இருக்கக்கூடிய எல்லாரும் புரிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டும். கேவியில் பிஜேபி ஆட்சிக்கு வருவதற்கு முன்னால் ஜெர்மன் மொழி சொல்லிக் கொடுத்துருந்தாங்க. இவங்க ஆட்சி பொறுப்பு வந்த பிறகு அந்த மொழியை எடுத்துட்டு சமஸ்கிருதம் படிக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சமஸ்கிருதம் திணிக்கப்பட்டது. சமஸ்கிருதம் படிக்க பிள்ளைகளுக்கு என்ன பயன் இருக்க முடியும்னு நம்ம கேட்கலாம். ஆனால் இப்படி மொழி திணிப்பு, ஆதிக்கத்தை திணிப்பு இதையெல்லாம் தொடர்ந்து ஒன்றிய அரசாங்கம் செய்து கொண்டிருக்கிறது. அதனால தான் இந்த மொழி திணிப்பை, ஹிந்தி திணிப்பை எதிர்க்கிறது.
Okay, let's bring in Pramod Madhav, who's joining us live from Chennai with more details on this. Pramod, you've got this showdown over language, something that's not really new to Tamil Nadu. But is there any truth to the Tamil Nadu government's claim that now funds have been paused for Tamil Nadu as a result of them not being a part of and not agreeing to the three-language policy or to the NEP?
Akshita, this is where it all began. Almost like 7 days ago, there was an issue where the Chief Minister actually coined how the Samagraha Shiksha Abhiyan funds were released to certain states but not to Tamil Nadu, and for which Annamalai retaliated by calling the Chief Minister as a liar, for which the State Education Minister actually shared data claiming Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh have got received the fund. And this is when Anbil Mahesh was the first person to say that like Tamil Nadu is being kind of blackmailed, that if Tamil Nadu needs to get Samagraha Shiksha Abhiyan, which is 2,140 crores for 2023 to 2024, Tamil Nadu government will have to go ahead and accept PM Shri, and this is where the NEP and three-language policy enters, and this is what actually the Tamil Nadu government is not ready to accept, and this is where Anbil Mahesh went ahead and called it as a blackmail. When this question was put forward to Dharmendra Pradhan, instead of giving an explanation as to what exactly happened, he was completely upset that Tamil Nadu government is still actually opposing NEP, and this is where he went ahead and said that this is the rule of the law, and if every other state is accepting it, why is not Tamil Nadu accepting it? And he claimed that DMK government is playing divisive politics. However, AIDMK has also taken the same stance, and just like you saw, even Udinidhi Stalin, the Deputy Chief Minister, has made it very clear that Tamil Nadu will not accept three-language policies, and it will only go ahead with two-language policy, Akshita.
All right, Pramod, thanks very much for joining us with those details. Clearly, this showdown is not going to stop anytime now, with the DMK putting their foot down and saying there's no way we'll agree to a three-language policy. Let's get you breaking news on the story. Now, the Tamil Nadu BJP chief Annamalai has lashed out at the DMK over the language war, accusing the DMK of depriving children from opportunities, saying government school children are being denied opportunities because of politics, because of this language fight. Let's listen in to what Annamalai said.
நான் யாரையும் எடுக்கல. திமுகவுடைய கடைக்கோடியில் இருக்கக்கூடிய கவுன்சிலர் வரைக்கும் குழந்தைங்க 3 மொழி படிக்கிறாங்க. பிரைவேட் ஸ்கூலுக்கு போறாங்க. படிக்கணும், ஏன்னா அவங்க படிக்கணுமா, வெளிநாட்டுக்கு போகணுமா, நல்லா சம்பாதிக்கணுமா. ஆனா அரசு பள்ளியிலே படிக்கக்கூடிய 52 லட்சம் மாணவர்கள் நாம் என்ன பண்ணணுங்க? ஒரு தலைப்பட்ட சமுதாயம் மேல் நோக்கி செல்லும். கல்வித்திறன் குறைவாக கொடுக்கப்பட்டு வளர்க்கப்பட்ட சமுதாயம் அவர்களுக்கு ஊழியம் செய்வதற்காக கீழ் நோக்கி செல்லும் அப்படிங்கறத தமிழ்நாட்டை தவிர எங்கேயுமே உதாரணம் இல்லை. முதலமைச்சர் வெட்கப்பட வேண்டும்.
Okay, we'll continue tracking those reactions, but let's move on also to what's happening as far as the Champions Trophy is concerned. The countdown is on, but there's also controversy over this video that came up on social media showing the apparent absence of the Indian flag. There are all flags put up there. The tricolour is missing. This is at the National Stadium in Karachi. The footage, which quickly gained traction, depicted the flags of other participating nations, while India's tricolour seemingly missing. Speculations began on social media, with fans calling the Pakistan Cricket Board's response to India for not travelling to Pakistan for the tournament. Now, a Pakistan Cricket Board source has told India today that the ICC advised that only 4 flags will be hoisted on Champions Trophy match days, which are ICC, the PCB, and 2 sides which are competing on that day. Important to note here that Team India will be playing all of their matches in Dubai after the government made it clear that they will not travel to Pakistan, citing security concerns. Big news in the real estate and infrastructure sector. Veka Germany, a global leader in UPVC profile systems, has strengthened its presence in India with a complete takeover. The company now holds 100% ownership after acquiring the remaining 50% stake from NCL and other shareholders. With this move, Veka reinforces its commitment to India's rapidly expanding construction and real estate sector. Since its inception in 2009, Veka has grown to become the country's largest producer of UPVC profiles for doors and windows, operating in over 130 cities and generating a revenue of 442 crore rupees in 2024 alone.
This is a consequent development of our engagement here in India, which started in the early 2000 years as Veka with an own subsidiary. But the big step was really coming with a joint venture in the context of NCL Veka. And now we have the chance to do the next step with the takeover of the remaining 50% shares. For us as a global group, India has a special meaning. This is the area with the highest potential. We have a lot of trust in that market. We have a lot of trust in our organization, and that was a reason really to go in with 100%. And now it's a starting point to grow up something very special, and we are very much looking forward to this region of the world.
And that's all we have time for in this edition of 6 p.m. Prime. I'll be joining you on 7 at 7 on the other side, where we'll be running you through all the details over the Delhi Chief Minister suspense, set to end in a few days from now, as the oath-taking ceremony has been confirmed will happen on Thursday.
This is made by a Chinese factory called DJI, and this is actually a toy. And this has revolutionized how accurately you can target kinetic energy. We have to build such a system. And the sad fact is that we're nowhere here. We don't make any of the components inside this. We don't understand how it's made. We certainly don't make any of the optics. We don't understand how it's made. And that's what my speech was getting at, that this is actually where we should be playing. And the network that produces this is where the real value is. And all AI is actually going to be operating on this network.
राहुल गांधी जी ने विदेश में क्या कहा था कि चाइना ने बड़ा संघर्ष करते हुए ऊपर उठने का उदाहरण प्रस्तुत किया है उन चुनौतियों के बीच से। आपको याद हो अभी कुछ दिन पहले के अपने विदेशी दौरे में क्या कहा कि चाइना ने अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट को बहुत अच्छे तरीके से टैकल किया है, जबकि फैक्ट ऑफ द मैटर है इस समय चाइना में एम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट 24% है। 2023 में जनवरी से लेकर जुलाई के बीच में अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट वहां पर बढ़ते बढ़ते हो गई 17-18%, और उन्होंने फिर जुलाई 23 से जनवरी 24 डाटा देना बंद कर दिया, फिर डाटा का बेस चेंज किया और जनवरी से लेकर अगस्त के बीच में किया, फिर बदले बेस पर भी वो 24% हो गई। मगर राहुल गांधी जी को उसमें बहुत महान चीज नजर आती है। जिस प्रकार की बात सैम पित्रोदा जी ने कही है, वो भारत की अस्मिता, भारत की कूटनीति और भारत की संप्रभुता पर बहुत गहरा आघात है। उन्होंने इस प्रकार की बात कही कि चीन के साथ तो किसी प्रकार का विवाद ही नहीं है, जैसे भारत ही अग्रेसर की भूमिका में, यानी आक्रामक मुद्रा लिए हुए, और ये कोई उनका अलग बयान नहीं है। ये ओवरसीज कांग्रेस के चीफ हैं, यानी समुद्र पारी कांग्रेस के प्रमुख हैं। अब समुद्र पार से तो सोरस के सुर भी कांग्रेस के साथ मिलते हुए नजर आते हैं, परंतु यहां पर एक बहुत गंभीर बात है कि जो कुछ सैम पित्रोदा ने कहा है, यह कोई आइसोलेटेड इवेंट नहीं है, आइसोलेटेड स्टेटमेंट नहीं है। इसी भाव और इसी विचार के अनेक स्टेटमेंट राहुल गांधी पहले दे चुके हैं।
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
तेजवाना बॉर्डर क्रॉस किया और बॉर्डर क्रॉस करने के 1-2 सेकंड बाद ही वो पुलिस आ गई और हमें चौकी में ले गई। 2-2.5 घंटे चौकी में रखा और फिर हमें कैंप में शिफ्ट कर दिया सैंडियागो।
तो फिर उन्होंने बताया कि आपको डिपोर्ट करेंगे, उन्होंने बताया या क्या, या कोई वकील वगैरह या कुछ ऐसी ऑप्शन थी?
वो जेल थी भाई, और मतलब कि उसमें कोई नहीं हम कर सकते थे, कोई वकील नहीं कर सकते, हमें कोई फ़ोन नहीं मिला, कोई नहीं। मतलब कि 27 नवंबर को हमारा फ़ोन, बूट में चश्मे, पैंट से बेल्ट, सिर से दस्तार, सब कुछ निकाल के
वहीं जहाँ आप डिटेन हुए वहीं दस्तार भी उतार ली?
हाँ, दस्तार उतार ली, सब कुछ उतार लिया।
बताया उन्होंने, आप बता रहे थे कि बताया भी कि रिलीजन है, तब भी उन्होंने उसको टेबल पे रख दिया, क्या किया?
हाँ, मतलब कि मैंने मतलब कि उतार के फिर टेबल पे रख दिया। मतलब कि मैं बैग में डालने वाला था, उसके पहले उसने डस्टबिन में फेंक दी
दस्तार को।
हाँ,
कल आने के पहले 13-14 दिन आप मतलब डिटेन ही थे, तो हाँ। उसमें कोई मारा पीटा या कुछ ऐसा तो नहीं? मतलब कि मेंटली टॉर्चर था और कुछ नहीं था। मेंटली टॉर्चर मतलब कि जैसे AC फुल कर देना, मतलब कि एक लिफाफा होता है जो सिल्वर पेपर होता है, वैसे लिफाफा में हमको रात ऊपर लेने के लिए देते थे। ऊपर मतलब कि कोई हीटर जैसी लाइट थी, वो जब लिफाफा ऊपर लेते थे हीटर की लाइट से मतलब कि हाँ चमड़ी को सेक पड़ता था, और उसको उतारते थे और हम ठंड लगती थी, ऊपर के लेते थे चमड़ी को सेक पड़ता था। और खाने पीने को 14-15 दिन?
खाने पीने को एक सिर्फ लेस और फ्रूटी, बच्चों जैसा खाना
पूरे दिन में?
हाँ, मतलब कि 2 टाइम आता था।
उसके बाद फिर जब क्राफ्ट में शिफ्ट किया तब पता लगा कि क्राफ्ट में लेके जा रहे हैं?
नहीं भाई, मतलब कि हमें हाथ बेड़ियाँ लगा दी, और
हाथों में भी हथकड़ियाँ थी, पैरों में भी बेड़ियाँ?
हाँ। कैसे
थी वो चेन? आप कह रहे थे पीठ से डाली हुई थी?
हाँ, चेन ऐसे डाल के मतलब कि हाथ बांध दिए।
पर यहाँ पे तो कल उन्होंने बोला कुछ कि नहीं, वो बेड़ियाँ वगैरह नहीं थी, कुछ ऐसा
मतलब कि जब फ्लैट लैंड होने वाली थी ना 10 मिनट में, मतलब कि उसने पहले मतलब कि सब कुछ खोल के मतलब कि छुपा दिया।
अच्छा, छुपा भी दिया। आंखें वगैरह खुली थी? आंखें भी?
हाँ, आंखें खुली थी, सब कुछ सही था। खाने पीने की, बाथरूम जाने की दिक्कत थी और कुछ।
वेका, India's largest selling UPVC window. Green lam laminates. कुछ मेरा कुछ तुम्हारा.
Hello and welcome. Good evening. You're watching 7 at 7 here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal, and let's begin this broadcast with the top 7 stories tonight. Rahul Gandhi faces flack for flaunting China drone. Drone industry slams Rahul, asks why belittle Indian drones. Congress Overseas Chief Sam Pitroda backs China, says China threat blown out of proportion. Congress distances itself from remark. Elon Musk's Doge reveals 182 crores US aid funds used for voter turnout in India. BJP claims money used to fuel anti-government movements and influence 2024 polls. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister versus Union Education Minister face-off over national education policy. Stalin claims blackmail by Education Minister over Tamil Nadu not implementing 3-language policy. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma announces probe into Pakistan climate expert who allegedly worked with Congress leader Gaurav Gogoi's wife Elizabeth. More trouble for Late Show host and judges. Comedian Samir Raina summoned tomorrow by Maharashtra Cyber Cell. Ranveer Elabadia asked to appear on February 24th. Face arrest warrants if they do not. And earthquake measuring 4 hits Delhi NCR. Strong tremors felt in the national capital region. Prime Minister Modi urges residents not to panic. And let's begin with all of the suspense surrounding who will be the Delhi Chief Minister. We don't have answers to that just yet. but we know when the swearing-in ceremony will take place. It will be on February 20th, and already preparations on in full swing at the Ramlila Maidan for what's touted to be a grand event, a grand celebration by the BJP. Prime Minister Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah will be a part of the oath ceremony. Now, all NDA chief ministers will be in attendance for the oath ceremony as well. Sources telling us that you will also see celebrities, some of the biggest names of the country coming together for the swearing-in ceremony. Now, reportedly, Ambani, Adani, other industrialists have been invited for the ceremony. Spiritual leaders, farmers have been invited as well by the BJP, who are coming to power, remember, in Delhi after 2.5 decades. So they want to show off their numbers. This is not just a BJP show of strength, but an NDA show of strength. So all eyes will be on who the next Chief Minister of Delhi will be. We still don't have answers to that question, but just a timeline essentially of when we will know who the next Chief Minister is. But preparations are on full swing right now for that swearing-in ceremony, which will take place at the Ramlila Maidan. The Delhi Chief Minister will be sworn in on 20th February, that's Thursday, at 4:30 in the evening. There are three top contenders right now for the CM throne. Parvesh Verma, the obvious one, known as the giant slayer for defeating former Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in New Delhi. Rekha Gupta, she's a first-time MLA and former mayor, but considered a woman face, the BJP could just go with her. And then you have Ashish Sood, a long-time BJP worker with strong grassroots and also connected to the RSS. So it's these three names that are doing the rounds right now. There are many others, but they're the top three in the list right now. Okay, let's bring in our political analysts on this broadcast to decode who perhaps we could be seeing being sworn in or taking oath as the Chief Minister come February 20th. We have Ashutosh, author and political analyst, with us. Amitabh Tiwari, political strategist and commentator. Good evening to both of you. Thank you very much for your time. Amitabh Tiwari, I'll begin with you. You know, a lot of talk about certain equations that the BJP will keep in mind when they name the next Chief Minister of Delhi. What do you think will be the number one criteria that BJP will look into? Because there's a lot of talk that they're going to be thinking about the long run, the next election also coming up in Bihar.
Yes, see, I think there are two main criteria. One, of course, is the BJP would be looking for a person who would be able to, who is best placed to implement the Sankalp Patra of the party, because they have made a lot of promises, including social welfare promises, as well as solving long pending issues like the cleaning of Yamuna and reducing air pollution. So you need a person who could coordinate well with the LG, is in the good books of the Prime Minister and the Home Minister, because the center still has a role. Secondly, they also need a person to send a political message or a symbolic message in other parts of the country. We've seen that whenever BJP chooses a chief minister like Mohanlal Yadav from MP, it was largely done to send a message to the Hindi heartland states of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. So here also we could see somebody whose name could influence the elections, the upcoming elections in Bihar, UP, and even Punjab, because Punjab is a territory which the BJP now wants to make inroads into, but has not been successful so far.
You know, there are three names, and Ashutosh, I'll bring you in on this. There are three names right now who are considered to be frontrunners. That's Parvesh Verma, Ashish Sood, and Rekha Gupta. Of the three, Ashutosh, who do you think could fancy their chances the most of becoming the Chief Minister?
Akshita, I will not hazard any guess because I'm not privy to any information. And every time the journalists have guessed about the Chief Minister or any appointment by the
who would you pick?
Cabinet.
Of the three, who would you pick and why?
No. I will not pick either of the three for the simple reason because I know that Ashish Sood is a good example in that sense. He could be a good Chief Minister. Rekha Gupta, I do not know much about her, but again, she can be a good Chief Minister. See, that there could be three criteria. One, I think that the pick of the Chief Minister should be somebody on which the RSS agrees to the name. Somebody who has been who has been through the organization and who has been very much clued into the RSS ideology. Secondly, should be suave enough to be the Chief Minister in the national capital region for the simple reason because Delhi is not. Delhi is where all the global media and the global ambassador and the high commissioners are over there. So any name which embarrasses or has a potential to embarrass BJP or to the nation will be avoided. So I think somebody should be suave enough. And thirdly, somebody who fixes into the caste structure of India's politics. Caste structure means like somebody from the OBC or somebody from the Dalit should be preferred. In that sense, I don't see that Parvesh Verma has a chance, though I'm still not hazarding any guess for the simple reason because I do not know anything and nobody, as a journalist, last 10 years experience is whenever you hazard a guess, you are wrong.
That's true. I have to agree that, we can go on and on with our discussions, but you never really know what's happening in the BJP camp. Rajat Sethi is also with us. Rajat, welcome to the show. I'll just come to you. Just a quick follow-up question to what Ashutosh ji said to Amitabh Tiwari. On the Parvesh Verma factor, everyone's touting him as really in the lead for the CM throne, considering, of course, that he defeated Arvind Kejriwal. But Amitabh Tiwari, do you think that caste plays a big factor here? And in that case, is that an advantage or disadvantage for someone like Parvesh, considering that, he belongs to the Jat community and there's a very small number of that in Delhi, less than 7%?
Does not play a big role in or did not play a big role in the electoral results of Delhi because here it's largely the social, economic and class play. The fact that the Jat community has significant influence in neighboring states of Haryana, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh, and BJP does not have a Jat chief minister, and the fact also that he has defeated Arvind Kejriwal does tend to make Parvesh Verma one of the strongest contenders. One of the weaknesses, however, I feel is that if they make him the chief minister, then BJP's position on dynastic politics or nepotism could be weakened because that is something which the opposition could level allegations of or target Parvesh Verma against.
Rajat Sethi, your opening comments on the Delhi CM suspense. 1 week, over 1 week actually, and we're still asking the same question over who will be the Delhi Chief Minister. We fortunately at least have a deadline now. We know when we're going to get that answer. But look, at this point, there are several names doing the rounds, one of them of Parvesh Verma. He's got, of course, that advantage in the race because he's defeated Arvind Kejriwal. But do you think that bringing in someone who has got that tag of, a Nepo kid, of dynastic politics, having been controversial also in the past for the comments he's made, do you think that the BJP could go with him or someone else?
See, I think we need to understand what exactly is nepotism. Nepotism is not when you don't have your father literally lobbying and trying to push your name to climb up the ladders that way. Parvesh Verma here, at least I don't see nepotism being an issue around which he would be, he would be questioned, etc. He has risen through the ranks. He had to struggle his way all the way up, and he defeated Arvind Kejriwal purely on his merits. It was not his father's name that he carried around. He had to work hard, and he had to go out and challenge the sitting former chief minister and the sitting leader of the Aam Aadmi Party. It was no mean feat. So I don't see, we should belittle what Parvesh Verma has achieved on the tag of nepotism. There are other cleaner definitions of nepotism wherein you are, the default head of a party without going through the grind of rising up the ranks through democratic and merit-based systems. Here, Parvesh Verma has risen up through merit. So
he's also but controversial, Rajat. He is controversial. Look at the comment that happened, of course, the controversial one during Shaheen Bagh.
See, that is something which, the party high command is going to discuss, and BJP will be, weighing in all possible options. They also want a young and energetic person who can come in and challenge the Aam Aadmi Party, which still remains a youthful party. All the, all the faces of the Aam Aadmi Party who have lost the election would still carry on with their politics, and BJP will have to ensure that a youthful, energetic face remains there to challenge the Aam Aadmi Party in its sort of style and a signature style of the Aam Aadmi Party, which is typically around dharna politics and all of those things. So I believe, I personally feel that Parvesh Verma fits in the bill rather too well. I think the only constraint on him is that he is too good a fit. If that can sort of pull him down, maybe that's the only reason. Otherwise, he seems like a candidate who should be in the race for the top job.
Okay, your pick clearly is Parvesh Verma. We'll see if the BJP heeds your advice.
No, Nandita, I am
no,
nobody
Rajat, you
pick.
haven't. No, you can go ahead and voice your opinion. Your opinion is Parvesh, which is perfectly fine.
Yes. So what was accused on Parvez, I'm just countering that. I still believe he, along with the 48 others, remain in the line, and maybe more, who are the probables of the CM. And let's leave it at that. Everybody has a fair share.
We'll keep adding disclaimers that we don't know, it can be anyone. We'll keep adding that, but it's perfectly fine for you to say that. Look, I think this is a good option. I just want to put out some images that came in today and get your views on this as well. Of course, everyone's talking about the promises made by the BJP, and one of the biggest ones that every Delhiite is watching out for is the cleanup of the Yamuna, which has officially started off today. You're seeing the swearing in yet to happen, but those are images of the cleaning that's kicked off. Has led to a lot of questions, Ashutosh ji, on why this didn't happen earlier. Why didn't the LG sanction this earlier?
See, I think it's just a beginning. Let it go on. I think we should judge after 6 months or a year when we could really understand, we really get to know whether the Yamuna has been really cleaned or not. Because these are the pictures, and obviously somebody must have ordered that. But like Ganga, I've been hearing at least for the last 40 years, since Rajiv Gandhi's time, the Ganga is going to be clean, Ganga is going to be clean, Ganga is never clean. So let's not rush to anything. I just only want to add one thing, that among the BJP names, whosoever is a front runner never reaches to the chair. So I don't know whether Rajat has done a favor to Parvesh Verma or has done a disfavor to Parvesh Verma. So let's not hazard any guess. See, the fact is, again, I'll say this. That Delhi is very, very important for the BJP, and the BJP has a bad experience in Delhi because they had a leader like Madanlal Khurana, there's a leader like Sahib Singh Verma and Sushma Swaraj, all three stalwarts, not only in Delhi politics but the national politics also. But look, in 5 years, BJP had to change 3 chief ministers, and the BJP lost government on the price rise of the onions, and for the next 27 years, it could not come. So BJP has to be extremely careful. First of all, they have to get somebody who could take BJP forward at least as a leader in next 20 years or 15 years. So the BJP is rest assured. Like they had a Shivraj Singh Chauhan in Madhya Pradesh who carried the mantle of a leader for good 20 years. Like Vasundhara Raje Scindia in Rajasthan, or Devendra Fadnavis in Maharashtra. So that's why it's very important for the BJP to choose somebody who's competent enough, take anybody along, look good and suave, as well as had come from the RSS, and acceptable to Narendra Modi and Amit Shah both.
This is an important point that you've raised, and Rajat Sethi, I'll bring you in also on this. For the BJP to pick someone, someone who essentially hits the ground running, cracks the whip down, ensures action even on an issue like Yamuna or air pollution, but also importantly becomes a face for the Delhi BJP, which has been, woefully short of faces for the last so many years. Do you think that's what makes this decision all the harder for the BJP top brass?
So no and no. First part of the answer, having a larger than life face, that is not what BJP sort of thinks like. I mean, they have proven it in the past also. They're totally okay with with faceless people who can actually truly work on the ground and ensure that the promises made by the Prime Minister are kept. And we've seen ample number of examples all around the country, which sort of proves the point that face is not important. The intent to work and deliver on policies is more important. And I think this is where BJP would be looking at in terms of choosing the final name. It will have to be work which should speak, not personalities. We have seen that Delhi has been eroded because of personality and cult level politics that was done for the last 10 years. We fell for that cult. We all collectively did that, and we gave bumper majority to one man. And look at where Delhi is. So I think from a public mandate standpoint, they do not want cult politics here. They want people who are low profile, can handle people's expectations, and can deliver on what is expected out of them without personality wars in the state capital, in the capital of the country.
Amitabh Tiwari, do you agree? Do you think, personality battles don't matter? It doesn't matter for the Delhi BJP to kind of ensure they have a face. It's more about getting the job done?
See, as in the opening statement, I said it will largely be the ability of the person to implement the Sankalp Patra, because it's PM Modi's name was on the ticket here. He was the one who took on Kejriwal when the question was Kejriwal versus who from the Aam Aadmi Party side. So it will largely be a person who will implement in letter and spirit the Sankalp Patra. Secondly, of course, after a long time, we've seen that the party has been facing infighting and has faced unity issues in the past. So we also need a person from the BJP side who takes along everybody. Yeah, I agree with in the sense that it need not be a high profile name, because we've seen in the past, at least in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, that there were names who were surprises. However, in Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, who was the front runner, went on to become the chief minister. So we also have both examples wherein the front runner, Ramesh Verma, goes on to become the CM, or we have any other name. So it's largely post-mortem. I don't know. I mean, most of us don't know also is probably the right answer.
And I understand, of course, that nobody's going to try and guess who the BJP will pick. But looking at the factors right now, I'd like all three of you to essentially tell me, looking at the factors that the BJP is considering, the names doing the rounds, who would you pick if you were in the BJP's place? And Rajat, if I can start with you, who do you think is the perfect fit? Who would you pick, looking at several factors of caste, of who can get the job done?
I'm sorry. Again, I don't reside inside the mind of either Prime Minister Modi or...
No, I'm not asking you to guess what the BJP will do. I'm saying, Rajat, looking at the current pool of candidates, front runners, who do you think is, the best candidate who can get the job done for Delhi?
Yeah, again, I personally feel everybody is equally equipped to get the work done, because the work essentially will be very closely monitored by the central government also, and by the BJP's, the entire structure of the BJP is centered around Delhi, and you will see micromanagement and ensuring that all the promises are being met. I mean, whosoever, you pick anybody, you are flashing 7-8 names, pick anybody. Each one of them will have to stick with timelines and deliverables decided by the central government in no uncertain terms. I mean, whosoever it is, I personally don't feel that you pick one versus the other, the work is going to get impacted. It is the BJP government at the end of the day.
Okay.
BJP has promised certain things, and it is Prime Minister's guarantee whosoever occupies that chair shall out, he or she.
So irrespective, it's on the face of Prime Minister Modi. Ashutosh ji, do you agree that it doesn't matter who's picked? At the end of the day, it's about Prime Minister Modi delivering these promises. And who do you think is the ideal candidate who the BJP should pick rather? Ashutosh ji, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yeah, I see. I'll start from what Amitabh ji has said, because Devendra Fadnavis became the chief minister of Maharashtra because he was the BJP president at that point of time. He was young, he was dynamic, and unfortunately or fortunately, here the BJP president his name is the Viren Sachdeva name is not mentioned anywhere. I'll give a lot of credit to Sachdeva for the simple reason because just before him, Adesh Gupta was the party president. And party was divided into the different factions. He should get the credit that he not only got the different factions together, but he also galvanized the cadres and could lead the campaign. Ideally, he should be the chief ministerial candidate over here, but since his name is not there, he doesn't contest election. But I will not still rule his name out for the simple reason because Narendra Modi and Amit Shah are capable of throwing a surprise if RSS also agrees, and this man is an RSS man also. So I think, but still, I'm not hazarding any guess in that context. But I'll defer Rajat on this that the BJP, yes, believed into the collective leadership. But BJP has risen only because they had not only leaders at the national level like Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Lalkesh Advani, even Yadurappa kind of a leader in Karnataka, Kalyan Singh in UP, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Uma Bharti. So there's a lot of
it's a long
big
list,
leaders because on the shoulders BJP became big. So you need a face who can not only take the party but who can communicate and connect with the masses.
Okay, Amitabh Tiwari, finally to you. Looking at the equations as you do, the data, the numbers, who would you pick in Delhi?
I really don't know. I mean, it could be anybody out of the 48 MLAs plus 7 MPs plus the BJP state president. I also would give credit to the BJP state president. He has, on a single-handedly basis, changed the landscape of the political party, which is the BJP in Delhi, very aggressively took on Arvind Kejriwal almost on a day-to-day basis and has been able to bring some semblance in the party. So of the 56 names anybody could become, we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, maybe we should add Virendra Sachdeva to our list of contenders and frontrunners. But thank you, gentlemen, for joining me here on this broadcast. I appreciate, of course, why you're not willing to hazard a guess at this stage. We've all had our fingers burnt by trying to guess who really will be the chief minister, and the BJP goes and picks someone else completely new and a name we've never heard of. So we'll wait and see really who's picked come February 20th. Thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast. Let's cut across to breaking news coming in. We've seen right now the CEC selection committee coming together for a meeting. Prime Minister Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah and Leader of Opposition Rahul Gandhi held that meeting at the PMO, and amid that, this politics as the Congress has hit out saying that this committee is in clear and direct violation of the Supreme Court judgment, which says that CECs and ECs must be appointed by a committee comprising of the Prime Minister, the Leader of Opposition and the CGI. Just to jog your memories, this was a Supreme Court order which was then superseded by a law that was brought in which the committee was changed from the PM, LOP and CGI to the PM, LOP and a union minister. But listen to what the Congress has to say.
The government has made it कि ये आवश्यक है हमारे गणतंत्र और हमारे गणतंत्र की निष्पक्षता और समतल जमीन के लिए कि जो सीईसी और ईसी चुने जाएं उनकी समिति में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री हों, माननीय मुख्य न्यायाधीश भारत के हों सीजेआई और माननीय एलओपी हों। ये निर्णय है 2 मार्च 23 का। इस कानून में ठीक विपरीत किया जो उस निर्णय में लिखा था, पूर्णतः कार्यपालिका द्वारा चयन का इसमें प्रावधान है। बाय रिमूविंग और ट्राइंग टू कीप द चीफ जस्टिस आउट ऑफ द अपॉइंटमेंट प्रोसेस एज एन इंडिपेंडेंट एंटिटी, the government has made it clear they want only control but not credibility. And the most important thing for the EC is credibility.
Okay, with that news break, I'm slipping into a short break. Coming up on the other side is To The Point.
इन्वेस्टमेंट की रेगुलर इंफॉर्मेशन मिलती है क्या?
लेते हुए हाथ ऊपर जोड़।
बिल्कुल। पूछ, विड्रॉ करने के बाद पैसे कितने टाइम में मिलते हैं? सुन सवाल चंद, म्यूचुअल फंड सही है .com पर लॉगिन कर, वहां तेरे सारे सवालों के जवाब मिल जाएंगे, समझा? सही है फिर। कौन सी वेबसाइट? म्यूचुअल फंड सही है .com। सही है।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
They decode the complex, making sense of the battle for power. They stand for trust, built over decades, earned with every analysis, every trend. They question.
सारी दिल्ली को शराबी बना दिया।
They challenge.
अभी जो सरकार आई हुई है, लोग बाग खाने के भी लाले पड़े हुए हैं।
They report to empower your choice.
We don't want LG taking our decisions. We don't have that kind of access to him.
They are your eyes on the ground, always there, where every vote matters. They are the election dream team.
in association with Tata AIG Health Insurance.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Hi, I am AI anchor Sana, bringing the top headlines for you, presented by Motorola. Delhi's new CM likely to take oath at Ramlila Maidan on 20th February. Maharashtra Cyber Cell orders Samay Raina to appear on Tuesday. BPSC protest continues in Patna, aspirants demands re-examination.
रेल मंत्रालय ने जांच कमेटी बैठा दी है, तो जांच कमेटी की रिपोर्ट में सामने आएगा और फर्जी सूचना या अफवाह की आशंका भी निर्मूल नहीं है। जांच कमेटी उसका भी संज्ञान लेगी, देखेगी और कुछ भी रहेगा तो इस भगदड़ का असली सच सामने आने वाला है और जो लोग भी दोषी होंगे तो उनको किसी भी हालत में बख्शा नहीं जाएगा।
सरकार तो इतना पब्लिसिटी दिए, वो पब्लिसिटी की वजह से लोग भी करोड़ों लोग आए, इसका जिम्मेदार कौन है? अब तो रेलवे स्टेशन में कुछ देर है, मगर रास्ते में जो और लोग एक्सीडेंट में मरेंगे तो उसका जिम्मेदार कौन है? लोगों का जिंदगी नुकसान हुआ, लोगों की लाइफ खराब हुआ, इसका जिम्मेदार कौन है? नरेंद्र मोदी है और उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार है।
Co-powered by Sabic, chemistry that matters. Jio BP, you deserve more.
You're watching To The Point. Good evening, I'm Akshita Nandagopal, and this evening our focus is on the Delhi stampede. The investigation is currently underway. The central government has swung into action 2 days after 18 people died at the New Delhi railway station because of sheer chaos and sheer mismanagement. Now there's talk of new crowd control plans, focus on 60 stations, the use of AI and whatnot. But the question that will be asked is, why didn't the central government, why didn't the government do this earlier, considering the images that we've been seeing of the unprecedented crowds at these railway stations, of the unprecedented crowding at the Mahakumbh? We'll ask those questions. First, a detailed report of what's transpired in the last 24 hours.
The deadly New Delhi railway station tragedy jolting the government into action. Centre has introduced a new AI-managed crowd control plan, including the creation of permanent holding zones at 60 high-traffic stations. The AI-backed tech innovation will be used to monitor crowd movement, especially during train delays.
This is the 16-number platform. Most of the special trains for Kumbh are on 16 number. So there has been an access control that has been designed to manage proper entry-exit flow to avoid any kind of stampede-like situation till the 26th.
The Saturday stampede occurred when a sea of passengers was confused by two trains with similar names.
There is a man marking that's been done by the RPF where at every entry-exit point from the footover bridge, which is the staircase to the footover bridge, there is man marking that's been done.
Sale of platform tickets from counters at New Delhi has been discontinued till 26th of February. Meanwhile, SP Chief Akhilesh Yadav mocked Modi government saying the Vishwa Guru can't safeguard poor passengers.
जो लोग ये कहते हैं कि हम $5 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी बनाने जा रहे हैं, विकसित भारत बनाने जा रहे हैं, तीसरी अर्थव्यवस्था बन जाएंगे हम और विश्व गुरु बन जाएंगे, क्या यही परिभाषा है कि आप प्लेटफॉर्म पर हमारे जो गरीब लोग हैं उनको सुरक्षित नहीं रख सकते, उनका एक्सीडेंट हो जाए? दोनों सरकारों को मिलकर के जो मुआवजा देने की बात कही तो वो मुआवजा देना चाहिए, उनकी मदद करनी चाहिए.
The centre promised to probe if fake news and rumours sparked stampede.
देखिए, बहुत ही दुख की घटना है और हम इससे आहत है, बहुत हमारी पूरी सरकार आहत है. रेल मंत्रालय की तरफ से इसका इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रहा है और इस इन्वेस्टिगेशन के बाद पता चलेगा कि इसमें कॉन्स्पिरेसी है क्या, कोई फेक न्यूज़ प्रोपागेट किया गया जिसके कारण ऐसा कुछ हुआ. इसके बारे में पूरी जानकारी ली जाएगी और इंक्वायरी होगी.
Can Railway ensure 100% passenger safety among surging crowd of Mahakumbh devotees? Vishriya Chatterjee in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, let's introduce our panel this evening. We've got Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Supriya Srinath, National Spokesperson of the Congress, and Mr. Vikram Singh, security expert and former UP DGP, former UP top cop. Good evening to all of you. Mr. Vikram Singh, if I can begin with you. Looking at this incident and 2 days after the stampede, now that the investigation is underway, details have emerged of how the stampede broke out. Would you say this is a result, sir, of an administrative lapse?
Good evening, ladies. I would say that we allowed this tragedy to happen and allowed grass to grow underneath our feet. All the instructions in the SOPs and all the other instructions were absolutely thrown to the winds. Caution thrown to the winds. We changed the platform at will and did not give adequate opportunity. We sold 1,500 tickets per hour, did not cater to the fact that the platform will not have the capacity to hold such large crowds. Was selling of tickets more important, income more important, or holding the crowd? Now I'm told that 64 railway stations have been identified, which will have the catchment area for the overflowing crowds. This could have been done much earlier, in anticipation of the fact that unprecedented crowds were converging, and to wake up after the incident has happened is just not acceptable. The last point, that you've ordered a 2-member inquiry commission and still no action has been taken. There's something known as prima facie, that whoever is in charge, whoever the senior most persons, there should be accountability and they should be placed under suspension. The inquiry can follow later. Otherwise, the credibility, and also I would say you have no credibility whatsoever. The fact that a tragedy has happened, you seem to be hesitant in taking administrative action and deterrent action, goes to indicate that perhaps there will never be a light of the day and nobody will be taken to task in all other earlier cases. I hope I'm wrong, but the indications are such that nothing is likely to happen. GRP blaming the RPF, RPF blaming the GRP, railways blaming both, every other blaming it, and nobody is owning up the responsibility.
Mr. Vikram Singh, this is the second incident of a stampede that's been reported at the Mahakumbh in a matter of weeks. Do you think, sir, that this is the administration being lax, essentially taking things for granted, that they knew these kind of crowds would come and yet nothing was done? No lessons were learned from the last incident either.
There are important lessons in the last stampede and there are important lessons from the 2013 stampede, and after every tragedy, there are lessons to be learned. And there is always a best way of doing everything. We have an SOP that has to be repetition, internalization till it becomes a habit. Repetition, internalization till it becomes a habit and it reflects action of every employee. If we are not able to provide even the basic CPR to those who are collapsing, if we don't have first aid facilities, we don't have ambulances, well, you can see the enormity of the tragedy. We could have done much better, but unfortunately, we were caught on the wrong foot.
Mr. Vikram Singh, thank you for joining us with your expertise and thank you for giving us your view on the stampede, the clear lapses that have come to the fore. Let's now open this up to a political panelist, Sanju Verma and Supriya Srinath. Good evening to both of you. Sanju Verma, you heard from Mr. Vikram Singh. He says very clearly the authorities let this happen. It's the second tragedy to hit the Mahakumbh, second stampede. So, you know, the message that comes across is that the government is completely unprepared for the Kumbh.
You know, Akshita, first and foremost, my heartfelt condolences to the kith and kin of the lives lost in the stampede at the New Delhi railway station. My heart goes out to them. Having said that, since this is a political debate, you know, we have to put out facts out there in the public domain. So first and foremost, let me make this very, very clear that, you know, by the end of February 26th, more than 500, as in more than 50 crore people would have participated in the Kumbh, making it one of the world's largest spiritual gatherings. And by and large, it has been seamless and smooth. So I would dare say hats off to both the central government and the UP government.
Two incidents of a stampede that have been reported.
One
at the Kumbh, the other at railway stations. We can't be hailing authorities today when you've, had this kind of a stampede in which 18 people have died.
You know, Akshita, if you've asked me a question, you will have to give me time to answer and then you can rebut me. As an anchor, you have every right to ask me the toughest questions. And let me also give a disclaimer at the very start. Accountability will be fixed. And if heads need to roll, heads will roll. I'm not going to be sitting here on your show and waxing eloquent about saying, oh, fine, 18 people died. But, you know, accountability is something that the Modi government has said a tata goodbye to. No, that is not how we function. So let your audience get this fair and square, loud and clear, that we stand for accountability, stand for good governance, stand for transparency, and every life matters, every life counts. But having said all this, let me also say that by and large, that is why I have been using the term by and large. The entire Kumbh experience for millions of devotees has been a spectacular experience. Yes, could these unfortunate tragedies, the two stampedes, could they have been avoided? Let's get down to the brass tacks of it. You know, let there be a high-level probe which is underway. CCTV footage, forensic audit will be investigated upon. You know, while you and me can debate as bona fide citizens, finally, until an inquiry takes place and the culprits are nabbed, until we find out whether this was organic or whether
this was accountability. You're saying accountability will be fixed. Supriya Srinath, your opening comments.
Absolutely.
So I don't think we can do a political debate on this. I mean, we are talking about the deaths of 18 innocent devotees who were going to the Kumbh because of the negligence and the sheer, and I don't think this is an accident. I think this is a mass murder because the railways should have been better prepared. The railway minister, I remember on the 25th of January, made this grand statement that he spent 5,000 crore rupees over the last 3 years. How does it matter? 30 people died in a stampede on the 29th of January. Today, 18 are dead. I mean, are you going to have a political debate over the death of a 7-year-old girl whose name was Ria and how brutally she died, and her father cannot stop sobbing when he talks about how the nail went into her head? I mean, we are all women here. We are perhaps mothers and sisters. How do we even do a political debate on this? But I have only one thing to say. I don't think accountability is in the DNA of this party or this government. And I'll tell you why. 29th January, the stampede had happened in Prayagraj. We are talking on the 17th of February. It's been over 20 days. We still don't have a list of the people who have gone missing and a list of the people with their names and ages of those who died. That's accountability. Which head has rolled in Lucknow or in Prayagraj, I would like to know. Why? And I just want to talk facts here because, you know, the devastation of these 50 deaths should be jolting all of us. They were devotees. They left their houses happy thinking they're going to the Mahakumbh, and everybody should go. There are invitations that have been given out by the Chief Minister and the Prime Minister, Chalo Kumbh. A woman in Bihar, I think, told your channel or some other channel, "Hame Modi ji bula rahe hain, hum free mein jayenge, hum nahi lenge ticket." That's the That's the kind of exuberance there is, and rightly so. Then you should also be better prepared. I have only two things to point out on this debate, and which is why I blame squarely this government. The railway minister has no business being in office today. Yesterday, on the 15th of February, the day before this incident happened, on the 15th of February, every hour, the New Delhi railway station was selling 1,500 general tickets. The railway knew the kind of crowds that will come. Do you see one police officer in that sea of humanity at the railway station? You announce a new train on platform number 16, people who had general tickets obviously will rush for that. I mean, these people who've lost their lives, who's answerable? There was a safety review meeting of the railways early in the morning on the 15th. What is the result of that meeting? What review did you do? Why could you not involve a multi-agency approach?
Okay, let's give Sanju Verma a chance to respond. Is it quite simply this, Sanju Verma, that the administration is overwhelmed? You're not able to handle these crowds. There's no SOP that's laid out in railway stations or at the Kumbh, leading to these kind of tragedies. Accountability is one thing. We can do a post-mortem. Why aren't we avoiding incidents like this?
You know, Akshita, now I need my time to speak. You know, I did not want to make this political. We are all three women here. And, you know, we are expected to have more sensitivity than our male counterparts. I hope I'm not going to be trolled for saying as much. But I will say a couple of things now, since this has become a political debate. You know, when a life is lost, it's not about data. It's not about statistics. You know, some 7-month-old babies, parents must be sobbing now, and statistics mean zilch to them. Having said that, your audience also needs to know the broader facts. Accountability की बात मोदी सरकार करती है, तो we walk the talk, and you know, unfortunately, I will have to cite data to endorse and corroborate my point rather than, you know, engaging in subjective rhetoric. Let's not forget, in the last 10 years, there have been 426 train derailments under the Modi government from 2004 to 2014 under the erstwhile incompetent Congress. There were 867 derailments.
Ma'am, you've just told me statistics shouldn't matter. You've just told me statistics shouldn't matter in the face of lives.
You know, Akshita, this is not unfair because you have called me for a debate. You will have to give me time to rebut. Otherwise, you could have not called somebody from the BJP. Please.
No, but I will ask you, when you counter yourself, you said this is not about statistics. It's about lives, and you're giving me statistics.
So can I just finish? Can I finish? I said, unfortunately, since this is a political debate, I will have to bring in statistics, Akshita. Please bear with me for 2 minutes. I did not interject the other panelists. I understand we are on sensitive issue and we need to tread cautiously. I hate doing what I am doing, but at the end of the day, let truth be out in the public domain, and you have a smart audience, let them judge. You know, if we are talking about stampedes, you know, the Congress panelists said that, you know, there's no accountability from the Modi government. More than 343 people died at the stampede at Mandir Devi Temple at Satara in Maharashtra in 2005. Not a single person was booked. In 2008, at Naina Devi Temple at Bilaspur in Himachal Pradesh, there was a stampede. 162 people died. Not a single head rolled. And in 2011, do you remember Supriya? There was a massive stampede at Sabrimala in Kerala, where more than 107 people died. And your Congress dispensation, your leader Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi had the attitude, hua to hua. The BJP does not have a hua to hua attitude. And now you will say, oh, Sanju Verma is obsessed with Pandit Nehru. But till date, we are not even aware in the 1954 Kumbh stampede, was it 350 people who died or 700 people who died? Was it 4,000 who went missing or 8,000 who went missing? And you are a party which talks about accountability. Till date, you've not said sorry for the 1984 anti-Sikh genocide. Sajjan Kumar is going to go
your response.
Thanks to the
You know, I wish we weren't doing your stampede versus my stampede, but Supriya Srinath, go ahead.
You know, I am at a loss of words that somebody can actually quote these things when there are people in this country wailing, having lost 5 of their children, having lost their husbands, their wives, their sisters, their parents. can we even do a discussion and quote the kind of things that the BJP is quoting? But that's typically the BJP. Let me give you another instance. There is a train that started from Gwalior. It was supposed to go to Kumbh. It is today, for the last 2 days, parked at Pratapgarh. Now, who's responsible for it? A train that I have seen on every television channel, that video of a man saying, we started from Kumbh, we were supposed to go to Delhi. We have been now stalled at Kanpur. Our train has been diverted to Kanpur. Let's just stick to the railways right now, because the railways is the only mode of transport for the common men of this country, the common women of this country, who find it very difficult to take up 47,000 flights.
No, Sanju Verma, please wait. Please wait. Let Supriya
don't speak in between.
Can you talk about
our average flight from Delhi to Kumbh today is 47,000. Can she keep quiet?
Go ahead. Her fate is down. We will ensure this is one at a time.
It's a very sensitive issue for me. Railways, please understand this. Railways is not a profiteering venture. Railways is a basic service for the common people of this country. The kind of rail accidents that happen and the kind of brazen attitude Ashwini Vaishnav has had. He stood in parliament and said that छोटी-छोटी घटनाएं होती हैं, ये भी छोटी घटनाएं उनके लिए. Where is accountability? Any other railway minister would have resigned after this. You have a railway minister who spent the first 4 hours trying to hide the data of death. The railway's first reaction, and I want to say this on record because this is absolutely brazen and it beats me. The first reaction to every tragedy, both on the 29th and today and the 15th, was this didn't happen, denial. Then, okay, this happened, but it was of a much lesser magnitude. And then you blame the people that because there were so many people. इन लोगों से आपको वोट मांगते वक्त तो तकलीफ नहीं होती है, लेकिन जब उनकी सुरक्षा करनी है तो उनके होने से दिक्कत होने लगती है. मैं आपसे एक बात पूछती हूँ, और ये रेलवे का अपना डेटा है. 350 special trains by the railways were being flying yesterday, which means about 350,000 people, 3,50,000 log, 1,000 capacity. You know how many travel? 12 lakh. How do you think these people are traveling? Are they common fodder? Are they cattle? Does the railway care? And we raised issues. Let us subsidize the airfares. 50,000 का टिकट है. कौन जा सकता है टिकट से? किसी की बात नहीं होगी, सिर्फ अमीरों की बात होगी. 2 तरह के आपने कुंभ बनाए हुए हैं. एक जगह वीआईपी डुबकी लगा रहे हैं, एक जगह आम आदमी 15-15 घंटे खड़ा हुआ है. शर्म नहीं आती आप लोगों को? लोगों की मौत पर आप सियासत करने आते हैं यहाँ पर. लोगों की मौत पर आप मुझे बोल रही हैं, डेटा दिखा रही हैं. शर्म आनी चाहिए आप लोगों को. लोग मर गए हैं, वो इस देश के लोग थे, इस देश के नागरिक थे. 50 ऐसे लोग मरे जिनके घर तबाह हो गए. शर्म नहीं आती आप लोगों को? दुख नहीं होता आपको? दिल है, कलेजा है आप लोगों का?
संजू वर्मा respond.
छुपाना है क्या? हो गया आप लोगों को?
Sanju Verma, respond to Supriya. Can we do your stampede versus my stampede? It's your government in power. The BJP is in power. Why are we looking back in time? We will hold the BJP accountable for what's happening right now.
You know, Akshita, I am repeating again and again, if you call the BJP, please allow me my rebuttal. This is a sensitive issue and Supriya has every right to raise questions. But what I'm trying to say is this. Did the government not have SOP in place? No, that's not true. The government had a standard protocol in place at all the important nodes, be it Delhi, Varanasi, Gaya, Patna, Agra, so on and so forth. Now, there has been a statement from Mr. Himanshu Shekhar, the Chief Public Relations Officer of the Northern Railways, and he says that 15 to 20 minutes prior to the incident, the unfortunate tragedy, platform number 14 and platform number 15 were virtually empty, but suddenly, you know, just 5 to 6 minutes ahead of the unfortunate tragedy, there was a swell of human beings at the stairwell of platform number 14 and 15, and hence we have to find out whether this was orchestrated or organic. I don't wish to make this, political, but
Supriya, what are you suggesting here? What are you suggesting? Is this, you're suggesting it's a conspiracy?
No, I'm not saying that. Akshita, don't put words into my mouth. I said that the 2-level committee is saying, let's have the entire CCTV footage. Let's speak to the concerned people. Let's speak to the zonal officers, the district level officers, the ticketing department, the railway police force which was there, the rapid action force which swung into action. Let's take everybody on board and find out what exactly transpired. But wait a minute. You know, the Congress leader, Supriya Shrinet, said 10 different things. I just want to say one thing to her. It is because we have Narendra Modi that I am sitting here and talking about accountability. I am not like your leader Rahul Gandhi and your leader Sonia Gandhi after the Sikh genocide. आप लोगों ने कहा था जब एक बड़ा पेड़ गिरता है तो धरती हिलती है.
Let's focus on this. Sanju Verma, let's focus on this particular incident. I assume the two-member committee that's been set up is probing who is accountable, not whether this was orchestrated or not. Rightfully they're investigating, rightfully taking in accounts. But is that to fix accountability of who is responsible? Supriya Srinath is saying there should be action against the railway minister. That is also his failure of ensuring safety at the Indian Railways.
Akshita, what did I start by saying? I said if heads need to roll, they will roll. But whether Ashwini Vaishnav has to resign or not will not be decided by Supriya Srinath or Rahul Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi. Prime Minister is the head of the cabinet. And I am 100% sure he's both sensitive, highly competent. He's the most popular leader by a wide margin. He knows what is to be done. And accountability does not simply mean sacking a person. Accountability means getting down to the bottom of the incident and finding out, could this have been avoided? Should we take better precaution next time so that such a tragedy does not repeat?
Okay.
Accountability does not simply mean कि आपने किसी को नियुक्ति कर दी और फिर उसको कहा कि okay, now you're sacked, you don't need to be held answerable. That is not how the BJP functions. And Supriya Srinath, Rahul Gandhi को तो accountability का spelling तक नहीं मालूम. Sonia Gandhi को तो accountability का
Okay, I'm running out of time. Closing comments, Supriya Srinath, what's your response to Sanju Verma saying there will be accountability fixed? Go ahead.
I have just one thing to say to the BJP this evening. Get a humane bone in your body. There are 50 people who have been dead in stampedes. First in
Sanju Verma, please wait.
And then on the railway station. Please don't speak in between. I did not speak in between. That's the least we can do. Let us not politicize the deaths of these innocent civilians. ये किसी के बच्चे थे, ये किसी के पिता थे. ये तो मत कर, ये क्या हो गया आप लोगों को? भेड़िए बन गए आप लोग. Stop doing this, please. Please, my heart goes out for these innocent people. And I will say one thing with all the responsibility. The rich are going in their choppers. The rich are going in their aircraft. It is the poor of this country who's traveling in trains. And they are the ones meeting this fate. And this is one again and again we see. Look at the kind of visuals that are coming from railway stations across the country. Are these cannon fodder? Are these cattle? They are being pushed into
I've run out of time. Closing comments, Sanju Verma, will you concede that lapses led to this incident? Will you concede, Sanju Verma, that with the images that came in of the crowd, despite that this kind of an incident happening is wrong, is a crime?
Akshita, I will leave your audience with this last thought. Accountability will be fixed. Narendra Modi is a leader who walks the talk when it comes to ensuring that, it is India first, it is the people of this country first. Good governance is something जो हमारे लिए सिर्फ एक slogan नहीं है, platitude नहीं है. Modi government walks the talk. Accountability की परिभाषा तक राहुल गांधी और सोनिया गांधी को नहीं मालूम.
No, I don't want to go into the Congress again. Sanju Verma, thank you very much. Thank you to Supriya Srinath also for joining us on this broadcast, and to Mr. Vikram Singh. You've heard from all sides here. The question is whether lessons have been learnt. 2 incidents. I'll remind you again that 2 incidents of these kind of stampedes have been reported, both linked to the Mahakumbh, and it will obviously raise questions about the lack of preparedness on ground that's led to 18 lives being lost to the New Delhi railway station and 30 previously at the Kumbh in Prayagraj. That's all we have time for. On to the point. Thanks very much for tuning in. Coming up on the other side of a very short break is News Track with Rahul Kanwar.
People rushing out of their homes in fear. Early morning panic in the National Capital Region. These were the scenes witnessed across Delhi and the NCR in the early hours of February 17. A magnitude 4 earthquake hit the NCR with its epicenter in Delhi, which is unprecedented. The epicenter was near South Delhi's Dhaula Kuan area.
We felt
The tremors were felt not just in the capital but also in adjoining areas like Noida, Greater Noida and Ghaziabad. Fortunately, no damage or injuries were reported despite strong tremors that shook the NCR this morning. Seismologists say there are multiple reasons for the strong tremors in Delhi and the NCR. Firstly, the epicenter was in South Delhi, and that too at a depth of 5 kilometers. Delhi is prone to earthquakes, and the urban structure is an added factor. Another reason, according to experts, is the soft alluvial soil in the region. Prime Minister Narendra Modi urged people to remain calm and stay alert for possible aftershocks. Delhi and other parts of northern India often experience tremors due to earthquakes in the Himalayan region, but the epicenter being Delhi this time triggered an alarm. With